all the logs or screenshot data that you analyzed, which what they can do is they can perform a 2-peer analysis at their end, and they can figure out that okay, the analysis that we did was actually correct or not. Okay, so this is how basic template looked like, which has executive summary to start with, and then the incident detail, discovery and response, analysis, mitigation, recovery, recommendation, attachment. And this thing is the responsibility basically of the incident lead to say, to prepare a concise report. And then this report goes to the manager, who does another review just to see like if there's anything mismatching or missing from the document. And once that's done, then it is kind of proceeded further and shared with the leadership, the full report. Okay, so that's all about like how the document look like. So any question on the documentation part, guys?
Sir, I have a question. Sir, I'm audible?
Yes, please go.
Yeah, yeah. Sir, as we now talked about the incidents that happen, after that we'll be making this kind of reports, incident reports, and we'll be filling all these details like how the incident happened and everything.
Yes.
So when we are monitoring events, so if we find any suspicious behavior in the events, can we proactively make a report like this is what happening in the events? Could you please check what is the suspicious thing happening in the environment? So how can we make that report?
Okay, so in that case, so as I told, the documentation will be different for all the entities. So this document was related to kind of something which is kind of was for a leadership. Now, the one that you are telling about is a scenario where you have to kind of, uh, let's say, let's say you are from tier one and you need to kind of share more data or ask the tier two or tier three to perform further analysis. Okay, so few things that maybe so it's basically called handing over the case to certain other teams to kind of take that analysis forward. So what you can do is, let's say, let me give an example, quick example. So you can first share incident details. Okay, just a basic like what this incident was about, like what you have seen. Like you can say like okay, on 13th May, you got an alert. You got an alert from, let's say, threat enter team, or let's say legal, or any kind of from SIEM tool, which was suspected to be a ongoing ransomware attack, let's say. So a little bit detail, okay, from on which date you got an alert, and from where you got an alert, and what that alert was about. A little bit detail about that. Okay. Now next, what you can do, you can say that okay, India SOC team update. Okay, you can say in this section is that what all things you did when you received an alert. So you can say that okay, we tried the alert, we scoped, we tried the alert, it turns out to be, let's say, true positive. We mentioned that, and then we, let's say, you scope the impact of the attack. Let's say you figured out that 20 systems were impacted due to ransomware attack. Okay, so you put an update, like what are the things, once you got an alert, what are the actions you took in your shift. Okay, now the next action will be pass on. Okay, what are the things you want to pass on to the next team. Okay, so you can just note it down. Okay, let's say you can, one of the things that you can do is like you have scoped it, and now you can ask that investigate the uh, impacted system to figure out the attack factor. Okay, to figure out the attack factor, how the attack happened. Okay, or attack factor, or let's say perform the root cause analysis. Okay, which is the most important. Okay, based on this, you can also say tell them okay, generate IOCs from the attack, and set up an alert for those IOCs. Okay, and you can also say that okay, also look at past logs for those IOCs. Okay, so these are some of the things that you can pass on to the team. So let's say these are the basic thing that you want to pass on. Okay, and now you can add, let's say, what are the resources they need to kind of uh, get more details. So let's say you got a ticket from the SIEM alert, but then you also worked along with the threat intel team, let's say, okay, or the malware analysis team, and you cut a ticket to them too. So what you can do is in the resource section you can mention, okay, ticket one, the link. This is for the threat intel team. Okay, so then now what happened once they have this document, they don't need to kind of run here and there and figure out, okay, what team we worked with, what team we didn't work with. Here they will quickly get, okay, the India SOC team worked with a dental team, and this is a link to ticket where the conversation is happening. Okay, let's say any email chain is going on, so you can just mail email, and subject line of that email. Okay, and what you can also do is like the next shift, let's say the person in the next US team name is ABC. What you can also do in the email, you keep that person in copy. Okay, and you can just mention copied US team in that email. Okay, so this is how the document will look like. Basically when you will be kind of handling certain task or handing over certain tasks from, let's say, tier 1 to tier 2 or 3, or you are handling certain tasks from, let's say, India SOC team to the US SOC team. So it will be kind of, you can treat this kind of an, as I said, package, which will have all the details, so that without any further issues, the next team can kind of start with kind of quickly working on that case and kind of complete the pass on items. So I hope this was clear, guys. So any questions on this one?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for kind of asking this question. Thank you so much. And now, thing is that what we do. So now there are very few things left in the SOC part, like introduction to SOC part in the first module, which is understanding the enemies in a bit more better way, and a little bit more about like few terms that we should know, which is policy, standard, guidelines, playbook, and baseline. So what we'll do is now we'll wind up for today, and we'll kind of continue the analysis, continue discussion for tomorrow, and we'll try to kind of complete the rest. I think there's only one last slide that is left we need to discuss about. So we'll kind of try to kind of complete the module analysis tomorrow for this. Okay. So guys, thank you so much for kind of making this session interactive, sharing your inputs and asking questions wherever possible. So thank you so much for that. And let's drop off for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys.